So I was reluctant to read this after the snooze fest that was What If Carter Burke, and then just the decline in storytelling in the Aliens Black, what the heck is it, Black, White, and Blood, or whatever it was, and the equal snooze fest of Wolverine versus Predator. But I went ahead and went, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I'm glad that I did. I can't say this was amazing or epic or, oh, this is going to be the next hotcake thing, but it was a good read. I was what's the word I'm looking for? I haven't had enough coffee today. It was entertaining. What I liked more is rather than try to bring everything, like, yes, it does kind of follow the setup of the time, but it doesn't take place in modern time. Like, it is Earth 616, but it's the future, if that makes sense. And I think what really grabbed me initially was the fact that it's in space, and we see that the perpetrators that are messing with the Xenomorphs are the Shi'ar. And one of the poor souls that's been experimented on is a Kree. And of course the artwork. I love this style from let me see if I can pronounce his name right. Esad Ribic. If I said that wrong, feel free to make fun of me down in the comments. But I love his style. And when I first saw the cover, I thought it was Jerome Opina. I thought that was who this was. But then I saw the name. I equally enjoy both their styles. Now the Shi'ar are on the ship, and they realize that there's incoming. And he goes, our defenses batteries have been destroyed. Cause of action? We dare not be rude, brother. Let's give our guests a most proper and appropriate welcome. Because they find out that the weapons that are hitting them are Wakandan design. So it starts out, for me, very Star Trek-y. Where there's a ship that needs to be stopped, and then they board. And what I love is how it was like, breach successful. Contact, motion everywhere. Heat sinks are fewer and more isolated. But this area is clear. Okay. Radio them in. No need. Boom. I am already here. And I love the way, especially this dynamic Dutch angle shot of T'Challa walking in. It just shows the power of the Black Panther. And when T'Challa is written right, just like Namor, he is on fire. That's why, for me, Secret Wars, the more modern one, was kind of boring overall. But the few moments like where Black Panther yields the Infinity Gauntlet, it's just moments like that with the Black Panther where it's like, go kick ass, man, you can do it, King. And that's no different here, where they know what they are hunting for. And before we even see the Xenomorphs in this awesome book, we just see the graininess of the and then whoop-ah. And again, Esad's pencils and the coloring, oh my god. That's what I'm talking about. That's why it feels sort of dark, what's the hell's the name of that comic series? Dark Horse Comics, where everything had that black, gritty style to it. Yes, this has color, but it's the lack of color that makes this intense. It doesn't look 3D drawn, and that's what I love about this style. I think this is more of a pastel painting style. If you guys know more, then let me know. And I love that even though the Xenomorphs, like you would think like the USM, the United Systems Marines, would be using their pulse rifles. Instead, we just see the power of Wakanda's technology on display here. And you see that the Shi'ar, quote-unquote Shi'ar, because we find out that one of the guys here is not what he seems to be. But he finds out that they've been seeding planets. And spoilers if you've not read this, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go read it and come back, and you're back. But they come to find out that one of the planets that was seeded is Earth. And we see now that this is not modern time, because T'Challa, much older. What kind of monster are you? Oh, I'm much more than that. For I have such plans. And I just love these quiet moments, because not every page needs dialogue. We see that T'Challa is sizing up with the threat that he just sees. And he goes, if you prick me, do I not bleed? Let's see. Shrunk. this is freaking awesome. Just too awesome. And then we see that T'Challa now has a son. God, what is his name? Azabi or Arabi, something to that degree. But T'Challa was talking about how he wanted to create a future for his son where he could live in peace and prosperity instead of having to be at war. Azari, that's his name. The monsters are over the walls. The gates are flung open. Our great city has fallen. And now our singular goal is humankind's oldest. Survival. So you can see the regret that T'Challa has on his face that his child must now be a king of war. And then we get the credits. And just AVA, and you get both read-ups of the aliens. So you can pause that, check it out. And the Avengers, pause, check that out. And this is, right here, writer Jonathan Hickman, artist Isad Ribic, our color artist is Ive Sivrosina, I think. VC's Corey Petit. And here's everyone else working on the book. And it's just that little bit was enough to get me hooked. And they explain how the Shi'ar was using the aliens, how to see different planets and how quickly it would happen. And we can just see the hell that is unleashed on Earth as we see the Xenomorph ripping in through soldiers, superheroes alike, the fall of Atlantis, the fall of Wakanda, even though they said because of its technology they were one of the ones that held out the longest. But what I liked here, and this is probably the only time that I would like modern Krakoa, it says here, the mutants ran for the safety of the Red Father, which is the Mars or the surface of the moon, one of the two, I don't care. It says all of them except one. Apocalypse, the first mutant, would stay and surrender nothing, for the world had now become the arena he always wanted. Apocalypse would fight, and if he lives, he lives. If he dies, he dies. So be it. Only the fittest survive. Yeah, that's just how Apocalypse would be. And then we see, after everything that's happened, we come to see that there's one person that kind of knew how to make the last survival place of mankind, and the window kind of gives it all away. And now we're following a much older Carol Danvers and Bruce Banner, and their one hope is the offspring of Reed and Sue Richards, and yet she still needs help from the surviving Miles Morales. Now, there was a lot of reading. I wish that there was more action, but Hickman has always had that way of, even though, and just like Claremont, where it may feel wordy, it still means something. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's words for words, or I'm the bestest thing ever, or like getting on a pedestal. It's exposition-y, but it's enough to draw you in and go, damn, well, what happened here? What happened here? Why does Valeria have this alien egg? And you can see the hurt that she's wanting to wipe out this infestation on their world. And Bruce feels like a surrogate father because he promised on Reed's deathbed that he would protect the girl. And yes, really heartbreaking things happen. And the one thing that I will say that I have to really give, and this is sort of a spoiler, but this was one of the things that initially made me want to pick up the book, was seeing Hulk tear through a Xenomorph. And it's interesting to see what happens when he rips it open and that acidic acid just starts to burn on him. Whew. And then there's a cool little thing that happens with Spider-Man. I know that Newsarama and all those places online have kind of already reported what happens here with the symbiote, but I don't want to give it away. I want you guys to at least have some sense of, what do you call it, mystery when you read this book. But it's interesting to see what happens to Miles here towards the latter half of the book, and it's enough to make me want to go, damn it, now I guess I'm going to have to go grab issue 2, because I was really worried that this was going to suck. And like I said, it's not the greatest next best thing since sliced bread, but you're entertained. I wasn't bored. I was like page flipping. And I only do that when I'm really involved in a book. And yeah, I recommend it. Go get it. Check it out. I'm glad that they put Hickman on this book. Yes, sometimes his writing can be a little up there, and you have to kind of stop and reread it, kind of like with Grant Morrison. But I'm glad that he was able to kind of bring it down and give us just a relatively straightforward story and how the perfect organism would fight against Earth's mightiest heroes. So guys, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics and grab this series. If you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. So if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Xenomorph bell. Next, subscribe. That way as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or the socials, which I'll make sure the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.